Hello, this is Aura Guardian, playing as Red today, and I am presenting a 1v1 Gotham City match against KravenZone, playing as Blue. This was a nice short game, and I thought it would be a good addition to my channel. Now, this map is Gotham City, and it follows a unique bonus system crafted in a way that progresses your income as you capture more territories within each bonus. The bottom of the map guides you through the rules of the bonus system. Holding one territory in a bonus can result in negative income. For example, if you held one territory in any of the two-face bonuses, you would have a penalty of -3 income. The strongest bonuses on this type of map are those which have high yields and little to no penalty for holding less than the complete number of territories of that bonus. Batman is the strongest bonus type, where holding one territory holds no negative income. Holding 2 or 3 territories gives decent income. And holding all territories gives a territory to income ratio of 1:1, the strongest on this board. Prioritizing these bonuses are a must on this map. Next strongest is Catwoman, where controlling 4 or 5 territories also has a 1:1 territory to income ratio, but owning 1 to 3 territories is relatively inferior compared to Batman. Joker is also fairly strong, but has a slightly weaker territory to income ratios than that of Batman or Catwoman. Riddler is only worth it if you can complete a bonus that has 5 territories and nets you 4 income for a ratio of 4/5. So those that have 5 territories. After that, negative income factors into play with the other types of bonuses available on the map. These bonuses can be more difficult to complete, but they can also be more defensible. For example, Poison Ivy has a 3-point penalty for holding 1 territory, but gives 3 income per turn if you manage to complete it. In addition, a strategy that can be used against an unsuspecting opponent may be to even gift a single territory from Poison Ivy, which would result in a net loss of 1 income for your opponent. I'd be careful with administering that sort of strategy, however. It can most definitely backfire and your opponent could quickly take over the territory. Alright, let's take a look at the board. My first 6 picks are double picks of Batman bonuses. Somerset, Old Gotham, and Park Row. I will start with an extra income point if I get both picks from each of these double picks. And it also means that I complete the full +4 bonus without having to deploy additional troops, since each starting territory will contain enough armies to capture a single territory. My 7th and 8th pick are in Catwoman. Not as strong as Batman, since I won't get the extra income if I get both territories. But I can get +4 income without any deployments here as well. Upper East Side is a Catwoman bonus. In addition to that, there's an extra territory with this, so getting the 5th territory will yield me an additional income to a total of +5 income on completion of this bonus. 11 and 12 are in a Riddler bonus, Upper West Side. Riddler, of course, is weaker than the other double picks that I have in play here, but it would only take 3 deploy to get to 4 armies to turn from this Riddler bonus. It would take all 5 territories to get a reasonable income, however. After that, my last 2 picks are single picks of a Batman and a Joker bonus, respectively. It will require more deployments to complete to take control of these bonuses. So after picks, I notice that I am missing my 5th pick, my 6th pick, my 7th pick, my 10th pick, my 9th pick, as I received my 11th pick and my 12th pick. There's a good chance that blue will also have picked in Gordon's house and Wayne Manor, although I don't know that for sure. These are very decent bonuses. I know he's not in Gotham Coliseum because I can see that he's not there. Cherry Hill, double picking Cherry Hill is also a possibility, but it's much less likely. I conclude my opponent's highest possible income is currently 2, based off his picks. With the reinforcement card, he can deploy 7 armies this turn. I don't consider it likely, but an attack on Rehab Center I don't consider it likely, but over the course of this turn, I decide to attack Gotham's World Fair and Courthouse Square late in the turn, in case that my opponent is either at Fabrics Market or Pedersen Street. However, I do make a slight mistake here and end up taking Gotham Academy last. In addition, my remaining deploys are sufficient to cover Rehab Center in case of an attack from Monolith Square, because the maximum he could have deployed there was 7, bringing him to 11, meaning he could only attack with 10, meaning that he would not be able to take a territory with 8 armies on it. 8 armies is also an efficient number to defend with. So on turn 1, I saw my opponent deploy 3 income on Monolith Square. The most income, therefore, he can have this turn is if he had completed Cherry Hill. 3 income is an indicator to me that he had 1 income this turn, not 2. Because otherwise I would have expected a deploy of +1 or a deploy of +4. Um, if he had 2 income. Because +1 with the +5 reinforcement card would indicate that he had deployed 6 armies elsewhere to capture 2 territories, and +4 with +3 elsewhere with the reinforcement card would have resulted in my opponent taking 1 territory. But with +3, that indicates to me that he only had 1 income plus the deployment card. So he deployed 3 here and he deployed 3 elsewhere. With that, my opponent's maximum income, since if he had started with if both unknown picks were in Cherry Hill, he could have completed that without deploy. He could have completed Newtown without deploy. And he could have completed Park Row without deploy. For a total of 10 income. So his max income next turn will be 10 income. As opposed to my 12 income. So, on this particular turn, I decide to capture 1 territory, deploy the rest to Rehab Center, and after delay, attack Monolith Square, since I know the max possible he could deploy here is 10. That still would be a losing attack for me if he deployed everything and sat there, and there is some risk of that. So I elect to instead delay before I make the attack. And my opponent didn't deploy anything to this territory. So, if my opponent had completed Cherry Hill, completed Park Row, and completed Newtown for 10 income and showed me nothing this turn, odds are is that my opponent ended up overexpanding this turn. He would have, in the worst case, captured 3 of these 5 territories and only have gained 1 income from it. And in addition to possibly capturing, also possible is capturing these 2 territories. Most likely then, I could see my opponent with the available leftovers deploying 5 here, or deploying 2 here and 2 here, and 2 here, 2 here, and 2 somewhere else, which I don't see what the gain would that be. Because, wait. Yeah, no, he wouldn't have 2, he would only have 1 army left over here. So he would be deploying 3 here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here possibly. Something like that. And capturing 4 territories such as Fox Gardens and Ibn Escudoc, Gotham's Arm Apartment, and Von Grunwell Enterprises. That would bring my opponent's income only up 1 income, just gaining 1 from the Joker, and to 11 income. But a feverish expansion would be possible the next turn. So, really, what I need to do this turn is I need to, let me get past this. I need to aggressively attack 9 lives and quarter and try and start breaking through some of these bonuses. I'm positionally better if it is indeed the case that my opponent has Cherry Hill and not something like Gordon's House and Wayne Manor. Um, that I have a better position and I will be able to start contesting my opponent's income without my opponent contesting my income very well. So, with the expectation that my opponent will continue to expand in this +3 and +5 next turn, there won't be a lot of income coming to 9 lives in quarter. Keep in mind this is the sort of the worst case scenario that I am cooking up here. When you're playing, you should be thinking about what could be the most possible income your opponent can have. Usually, though, that's not the case. The opponents will often play inefficiently. But you need to be playing as if you're assuming your opponent is capturing territories efficiently, unless that their deployments show otherwise. So, my plan this term was to complete Diamond District, complete 2 territories of Upper East Side and get 4 income gain that way. Capture 9 lives and capture quarter. The way I do this is that I delay my attack on quarter to the last possible moment, since my stack isn't coming here. Also delaying this monolith square to 9 lives attack, since I don't expect my opponent to send a stack in this direction, since I expect them to be spending the turn expanding in the worst case scenario. If I did see the stack here and my stack got denied, that would indicate that my opponent, I would still have better position in my opponent, but would also indicate that that's not the worst case scenario, and that situation would be more favorable to me anyway. So I complete 4 out of 5 territories of Upper East Side, capture 9 lives, and am threatening the bonus Park Row. I missed a pair of delays here. That was inefficiency in gameplay as well. Ideally, the attack on quarter and rehab center would come after these 2 delays that I missed. So after this point, my opponent resigns, which indicates to me that my opponent did not necessarily was at that worst case scenario. If we go back to the start of the game, we will see why. It turns out that my 2 opponents' missing picks were not in Cherry Hill, but rather at Robert K. Crossing in this Croc bonus, which isn't particularly good, and this Wayne Manor bonus in Gotham City, which is an alright bonus, but Gordon's House would have been the better pick. So, other issues I saw with my opponent's play here which hindered their income potential even after this. Mind you, they're taking this -1 penalty from Robert K. Crossing to begin with, is that they expand rather inefficiency, disregarding completion of Newtown, and instead start expanding in Rogers Yacht Basin when they really had no reason to. They could have uh, cited Fox Garden by just taking Nocturne and completing the Newtown bonus and having better income for it. They would have 1 more income had they by turn at the end of turn 1 had they just completed Newtown, and had they blockaded their -1 penalty and Robert K. Crossing, also giving them another point. So at the end of turn 1, they could have been up to 9 income had they not made those mistakes. Turn 2, they still don't blockade Robert K. Crossing. They overexpand into Bristol Coast. Blue takes Drake Household, and instead of taking Gotham Cemetery, mind you, they could have deployed this particular +1 and 2 more to Wayne Mansion to take Gotham Cemetery. They do complete their +3, but in reality they should be up to 13 income on this turn, not 11 income, based off their picks. Finally, turn 3, they do manage to still not complete Roger's Yacht Basin. Taking this extra 5th pick, that's just an extra army for one territory. That's pretty substantial. One army, or one territory, a territory army ratio of 1 to 1 is the best you can get on this map. So my opponent definitely should be taking Sunland Dock and completing Roger's Yacht Basin. But nevertheless, in the end, it doesn't surprise me my opponent resigns in this position, given that I am threatening to break through Park Row. I'm up income and up position, and there's no way my opponent can contest all this very safe income on the left side of the map. Thank you for viewing my video, and I hope you were able to take something away from it.